caught the groom cheating with the maid of honor right before the ceremony, and instead of confronting him about it, I told the bride. A month after we first got engaged, he asked me to go to this destination wedding for one of his childhood best friends. I love weddings, so I was like, yeah, let's go. The minute that we get there, this man ditches me, right? He's running around with his little friends, okay? I know no one at this wedding, mind you. I know no one. So I'm just awkwardly standing there with a drink. So I start to wander around. The venue is absolutely huge. Like, these people got money. You know what I'm saying? Eventually I have to pee, so there's no signs anywhere. So I'm looking for the bathroom and I'm just opening random doors. I open one door and quickly realize that it is not the bathroom, because inside the closet is the maid of honor making out with someone I just thought was a groomsman. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I slammed the door. I'm already awkward as hell at this wedding, and now I'm completely flustered. So I tried to go through this maze of a venue and find my fiance. He sees me, obviously it's written all over my face. He's like, oh my God, are you okay? The ceremony's about to start, come on. So we go sit down. Well, it starts and I immediately notice something. The guy from the closet is standing there where the groom should be. Mind you, I've never met these people in my life. We actually showed up a day late. So this is the first time I'm seeing everyone, except technically I guess it's the second time that I'm seeing the groom. I look at my fiance and I'm like, that is the guy from the closet. He's like, what? I'm like, that's the guy from the closet. He's like, you must be confused. You're confused. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm telling you. Then the bridal party starts to walk down. And right there, the maid of honor, I tell him, I'm like, that is the girl from the closet. That was who was in the closet with him. And he's like, you just need to forget about this. Like, just let this go. Just forget about it. And I'm like, forget about it? Forget about it. Forget about it. Your best friend just cheated on his wife 10 minutes before their wedding ceremony, and you want me to forget about it? Should have been red flag number one for him, right? For him. So the ceremony starts and they get to the vows. You know, there's that part where they say, if anyone here has any reason why these two should not be together, speak now or forever hold your peace. My whole entire body wanted to jolt forward and scream. Mind you, both of them are watching me. They're looking at me. And I'm red. I'm flustered. Like, and I have a weight on my shoulders. My fiance's looking at me. The pressure's on. I say nothing. How could I say something right then and there? How could I do that? So they exchange vows. They exchange rings. The whole thing. And I'm just sitting there thinking, aren't you supposed to be the most important people in her life? How can you do this? How can you do this? The more I sat with that, the more I couldn't take it anymore. So at the reception, I catch the bride alone for a couple of minutes and I approach her. And I'm like, I'm so sorry to do this to you on your wedding day, but I caught the groom cheating in a closet with the maid of honor right before the ceremony. Like, I'm so sorry. And she just looks at me. For a good 15 seconds, she says nothing but stares. And then finally she says, I had a feeling. And she turns around and she walks away. Within the next 30 minutes, we all notice that the bride, the groom, and the maid of honor have all gone ghost. They've disappeared. They're no longer at the reception, and things got a bit awkward, right? Mind you, this is a destination wedding. Everyone's lodging together. They're lodging together. So night comes, and I'm really annoyed with my fiance by the way that he acted earlier, but then also like the way he's acting with these guys that I've never met. Like, it was obnoxious, and I'm like, I've got to get away from this. So I tell him, I'm going to run a bath. I'm gonna pop a little spicy cube. Like, I'm going to the room. And I knew that it would make him drop everything and come, which he did. So we do our thing. We're up pretty late, right? At around 3 a.m., I hear a noise out by the pool. And I'm nosy. So I look. I'm investigating. Who's out there? What's going on? And what do you know? It's the bride, the groom, and the maid of honor. All out there, giggling and splashing in the pool, as if they didn't go ghost, as if we don't all have questions, as if they're in some weird love triangle, right? What the hell's going on? I'm not trying to yuck someone's yum. I just have questions. Allegedly, the bride cut the maid of honor off after this. And my fiance got a call, and he was basically cut off by the groom because I told. He didn't know that I had told, so this was a huge fight between us because he thinks that I should have just minded my business and I ruined their wedding. I ruined their wedding. I still wonder sometimes, like, did I do the right thing? Should I have just minded my business? Should I have stayed out of it? Like, what do you think was actually happening?
Hi there, my name is Keely. I'm 36. I'm dating again for the first time in almost a decade in New York City. Get ready with me for a 5th date with the love bomber. He got me flowers on our last date. When I showed up there, he had these waiting for me. So our last date was our 4th date. That was 2 nights ago, and I went over to his place and he cooked for me. I texted him when I got to his place. I didn't know if I was supposed to check in with the doorman or what, and I was texting him about that, and then I looked up and saw that he was waiting there in the lobby for me with flowers. I am so awkward. I saw him sitting there with flowers, and I don't know, I guess I didn't want to immediately assume that they were for me, so I just didn't address them, and he handed them to me after like 30 seconds and was like, these are for you, and I was like, oh my god, thank you. I had this weird thought, like, what if he's holding flowers for some other reason, and then I think they're mine, and then it gets more awkward. I'm new at this again, okay? My habits are rusty. I don't know what I'm doing. After that, we went up to his place. He started prepping the food. We made grilled vegetables on these like shish kebab sticks because I'm a vegetarian. And he had gotten a bottle of Prosecco and made mimosas, and it was just so fun. He was very, very complimentary of that white tube top that I wore, so data point to have for the future. News break, this just in, men love tight revealing tops. Who would ever have suspected? So we go outside at a certain point to start grilling the veggies. It had started drizzling a little bit, so I borrowed a hoodie from him. It was just fun and cute. We were standing there in the drizzle with our hoods up, just cooking and giggling. And I happened to look down off the balcony and I saw that there was this really cute couple that was like standing in the light of a street light, embracing, looking out over the water, kissing, and they were just having such a cute little moment that I snapped a couple photos and videos, and then I shouted down, turn your airdrop on, I just got the cutest photos of you. And then they shouted up that they had just gotten married, and I airdropped them the photos, and then they took some of us. It was just such a cute interaction, and I feel like that really shows the bright side of he and I being so similar, so extroverted. I feel like he and I will get into a lot of fun social situations like that. It's such an underrated thing to be around someone else who just really loves people. Neither of us are the slightest bit misanthropic. I love people. That's part of why I love New York City so much. I want to be surrounded by people. I want to see the little ins and outs, the vagaries of their day. I want to intersect with them in some small way. I feel like he similarly has that feeling to him, that sort of excitement about human beings, that joie de vivre, and it's so fun to be around him. In my last video, Maddie asked me to try a darker blush, so I'm going to do this color this time, and we'll see how it looks. All right, that's starting off quite pretty. I'm gonna do a little bit of the sunburn thing here. So used to baby pink that it's feeling really weird, but let's see it blended out. It's not bad at all, but I do think I prefer the baby pink. The love bomber has been a lot better with not love bombing since I had a couple of talks with him about it. Last night, once again, I think that we had conversations of a lot more substance and we got to know each other a lot better as people. There was one moment that stands in exception to this, however. He asked me at one point, so what do you want? And I was like, what do you mean, like a drink or what? And he was like, no, like from us, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I kind of yelped. I was like, right now? And he was like, no, down the road, you know, eventually. And I told him the same thing that I've said on here. Yes, candidly, what I'm looking for is a long-term committed relationship. Ideally, I would find my life partner, the person that I'm going to marry. And he did slide into something a little bit love bomby. He was like, okay, yes, that's what I'm looking for too. I think you could be the one. All right. The fourth date is still just so early to be doing all that. I would be lying if I said that I hadn't fantasized a little bit about him being the one, about him being the guy that I'm looking for and the relationship and the partner that I'm looking for. But I do think it's an emotionally irresponsible thing to say to someone so early because, again, we just don't know each other well enough to be saying things like that yet. I don't think it's fair to someone to say something like that before you're really sure, before you know them deeply as a person, when you're not really in a position to be committing to them and getting them excited. It just doesn't seem like a fair or a kind thing to do. I actually don't have a darker powder blush that I can use, so I apologize, Maddie, but I'm going over that with the baby pink blush. Oh my god, he's almost here, and it's like 40 minutes before our date. Rude. I have to hurry and get ready. We are going to dinner tonight at a restaurant that I love that is right on my block. Afterwards, my friend Becca just moved into a new apartment and she invited me and a few other friends over to just have pizza and help unpack a little bit. I did check with her in advance and she said it would be okay if I brought him along too. So I'm just gonna see how the date goes and see if I want to invite him. Why did this eyebrow do that? I am genuinely crashing out slightly. I think that I hate it even more when someone is early than when someone is late. Like, I genuinely think that I'm not going to have time to do my hair. Okay, he's here. Horror movie moment. The killer is in the house. But this is the final look. Wait, I need some more lip gloss. Hold on. Okay, now here is the final look. I curled my hair. It's like kind of half-assed because he was literally sitting there waiting for me. And I did this like little black like tie front shirt, long black maxi skirt, black flats. I'm fully leaning into the monochromatic moment. I'm gonna do this little black Osoi bag to complete the look. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. There's a man in my home. There's a man in my home. What did I do to deserve this? Okay, bye, wish me luck, have a good day.
So I can't stop thinking about my experience at Ulta yesterday because I swear to God, this kind of thing only happens to me. It only happens to me. So let me set the scene. My mom and I go to Ulta because I just want to look around. I'm getting ready to go back to work because I've been out of work since January for my spine surgery. And I just want, I need a refresh in the makeup department. I'm looking for a tinted moisturizer, something just to even out my skin tone, whatever. And we end up over at the Lancome counter. And this lovely woman, don't get me wrong, the experience was great. It was just so funny. And again, this only happens to me. So this woman, she's probably mid-60s, has been doing makeup forever. She said she used to work at Macy's and Burlington and all these things at the Lancome makeup counter. This is her life. She looks me up and down. She's like, love it. I see it. I love your skin. Let's do it. I kind of explained to her, I'm looking for a tinted moisturizer, whatever. She's like, what if you go out with your girls? You need a foundation. Shows me a life hack where you do a little bit of foundation. Here, this is the foundation I got. And then a little bit of the serum and mix it up and make your own tinted moisturizer. Genius. Never heard this before. Then you add a little bit more foundation here and here and blend it all in and it looks like you have a full face. It looks great. Anyways, she's like, why would you only want a tinted moisturizer? You're young, you can go have fun, do a full beat, da 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 da. So I'm like, well, I had spine surgery, whatever. She grabs my mom's hands and is like, oh my God. Okay. Then she starts, so she does a little mix on her hand and then she starts putting it on my face and is like, you have a lot of dead skin on your face. Do you exfoliate? I thought I'd been exfoliating. Apparently not. She's like, yeah, this is pretty bad. I'm sitting there like this, just letting her paint it on. And she's like, no, this is really bad. I'm like, sorry, I didn't come to Ulta today thinking I was going to get a whole, what not to wear makeover. Nevertheless, let's solve it. She keeps trying to she's got the little brush and she's trying to blend it in. I'm feeling skin fall on my shirt. I did not know I was this crusty dusty. I look in the little mirror. It's a hot mess. And she's laughing in my face, in my ear. She's like, oh, girl, this is bad. This is the worst. She completely wipes it off. She does a little, I don't even know what product she used. She gets all the skin off. She's like, let's start again. It's been 30 minutes since I sat down in this chair. But let's start again. Sure. She does a whole face. She does blush, bronzer, all the things. She gives me a coral lip. And she's like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And my mom's like, oh my God, Hadley, wedding makeup. And she's like, you're getting married. She's my great aunt finding out that I'm getting married. She's heavily invested. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting married. She's like, oh my, that's so beautiful. Love is so beautiful. Oh my God, da da da. Just in it. And she's she's so sweet. Again, I'm loving this because I love a crazy interaction with a stranger, but it was unique. She steps back. She's like, take a look in the mirror. I was like, okay. So I hold up the little mirror. I'm like, oh, this is great. Not a lip I would normally choose, but the face, it's amazing. She's like, let me see your phone. I gave her my phone. I don't even ask why. I just give her my phone. She's like, I'm gonna take some photos. Let me show you. So she's posing me around. Oh, that's her. She's posing me around the store in the mirror, over here, a little like over the collar moment. She's like, yes, 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 yes. She didn't love how they were coming out on my phone, so she took some on her phone and said, I'll send them to you. What's your phone number? I gave her my phone number. What was I supposed to do? This is Miss Susanna. She's my new aunt. She's my new friend. Like, yeah. So she's got my number. She's got some pictures of me on her phone. We did a whole photo shoot. I bought everything she told me to buy. Like, what was I supposed to do? Have her do a whole beautiful, gorgeous look and a photo shoot and not buy everything that she told me to buy? I bought it all. And then some. I even bought a lip liner. I've never even owned a lip liner before. She gave me some free stuff too, though. A little lippy. A little brush. A little body lotion. I mean, we connected. We had a good time. But, again, this is something that would literally only happen to me. I called my friend after, and she was like, wait, your makeup looks stunning. Oh, the cashier was like, your makeup looks great. And I was like, thank you. I just spent 45 minutes with Susanna in the back, and she did me right. What can I say? Get in the car, call my friend. She's like, your makeup looks great. And I'm like, let me tell you why. And my friend was like, I would pass away. And I was like, yeah, you probably would. So yeah, I have interesting experiences with strangers all the time. And this is just like the latest one on the docket, and I've got the photos. So I'll put a little slideshow in after this.
Y'all like the one yesterday? So let's run it back. I had this best friend for 3 years. I knew her since like sophomore year, but we didn't really start hanging out one-on-one until after high school. Friends for 3 fucking years. This girl turned 21 and everything went downhill. Now, not too much on her because she was going through it. So she was definitely coping by going downtown all the time, getting drunk every single day of the week. To the point where she could not pay her bills and she couldn't really take care of her cats because she was broke all the fucking time. She lost her job, she got fucking evicted, she moved in with her parents and got kicked out of there too because she just would not stop drinking. I went downtown with her a few times, but I actually had to stop doing that because I noticed that every single time we went downtown together, the only goal of the night was to find a man, okay? And if that didn't happen by bar close, absolute hell broke loose. She would be outside, like, sobbing, losing her fucking mind. Like, I had never seen her this way before, but it would happen every single time that we went out. Like, just absolutely fucking desperate. She would be on her phone, calling every single man that she had on Snapchat, begging them to let her come over or to come pick her up. There were nights where the plan was for us both to go back to her apartment, and she would just leave me for some man. One specific night, I went downtown with her, and my boyfriend went downtown with his friends, and we all met up at the end of the night, okay? We all went down to the river so everyone could piss. All the guys had to piss, and this girl, we're gonna call her Sarah, she had to piss too. So I went down there with her. Mind you, she's blackout drunk, wearing heeled boots, and cannot stand and cannot walk by herself, okay? So she goes down by the water. I'm telling her, no, you're not allowed to go down by the water. You can't even fucking stand by yourself. And the water's going so fast, she's gonna drown. And understandably so, she doesn't want me so close to her while she's pissing. So she's like, no, you stay over here. I'm going by the water. I'm like, no, you're going to go piss by the shrub. I'm going to stand back and not look at you and make sure you don't fucking drown. It's like a 10-minute argument. She decides, fine, I'm just going to piss at home since we're leaving right after this. Right after that, she looks up and sees that all the boys are, like, wrestling in the grass, okay? And she's like, oh, I want to fight. So she runs up there. And my boyfriend's one of the people wrestling. She starts chasing him around. Now, let me preface this. Her and my boyfriend don't get along. They both openly do not like each other. Like, not even for, like, a specific reason. They just, like, their personalities do not mesh at all. She starts chasing my boyfriend around saying, I'm going to get him. I want to hit him. I just want to hit him. I just want to hit him. And it goes on for, like, I'm not even lying, like 5 minutes, which when you really think about it is a long time. I think everyone's having fun. No big deal, right? Well, my boyfriend runs past me and he's like, Kim, you got to deal with this. So I'm like, oh, he's not having fun. So I'm telling her to stop. I'm chasing her around, telling her she needs to stop. She's going, I just want to hit him. I just want to hit him. This goes on for so long that I'm actually getting fucking mad. Like, she's ignoring me and she's not playful anymore. Like, she sounds playful, but I know she's not. Like, she's genuinely trying to fight my boyfriend. I eventually just run up to her, grab her from behind, and sit down, okay? And she's struggling, she's trying to get out, and I tell all the boys they need to go up to the street so she can't see them, you know, object permanence. And I get her down, and my first instinct, my bad, I shove her down by the shoulder, and my fist just comes up. It's instant, because I'm so frustrated at this point, because she's ignoring me, full on trying to fight my man. So I don't know. Also, I'm Dee Dee. I'm the only sober one here. So I had to stop myself because, first of all, that's my best friend. She's blacked out. I'm her ride. So I calm her down and I'm like, girl, I'm your ride home. So if you don't calm down and sit in this car with my boyfriend peacefully, you do not have a ride home. Point blank period. So calm down. She's like, okay, I'm good. So we get her to the car, mind you. Also, her coworker was with us. This is my like maybe third time meeting her, and her and Sarah are not that close either. Like they're friends, but they're mostly just coworkers. Okay, they don't know each other that well. So we have to like carry her to the fucking car basically because she cannot fucking walk. We get her in the car. I sit her in the middle. I have the coworker on one side. I have my brother on the other side. Okay. She's doing the thing where she's on Snapchat calling every single fucking man she knows. She begs me to drop her off at this dude's house. We're gonna call him Hunter. She's like, please drop me off at Hunter's house. I'm like, girl, no, you're going home. You're so fucked up. I can tell that you're not here with us. You're going home. She didn't like that. So she starts trying to fight her way out of the back seat. She's like, I'm just gonna find a different ride there. We don't let her out of the car, obviously. I lie to her and I tell her I'm bringing her to Hunter's so that she'll calm down. I take her straight home. I have to basically fight her to get inside her apartment. And she's telling me, I'm just going to drive to his once you leave. I'm literally just going to drive there. Mind you, she's like blackout drunk. So I take her keys, I take her wallet, and I shove them in her cat food so that she cannot find it. Mind you, I didn't know she worked at 9 a.m. because who goes out until 3 a.m. when they work at 9 a.m.? So she had to call out because she didn't know where her wallet and her keys were. The next morning, she messages me, I fucked up. So I think I'm about to get an apology. Nope. She tells me that as soon as I left, she ordered an Uber to Hunter's. This is hard to do on camera. Hold on. She ordered the Uber, fell asleep, woke up, ordered another Uber, fell asleep, woke up, ordered another Uber, and fell asleep. I stopped going downtown with her for a very long time. In fact, I stopped hanging out with her really for a very long time. We'd like catch up like once a month in a Snapchat FaceTime call. Now this entire situation sucked for me so fucking bad because like, as you can tell from my last video, it takes a lot for me to cut someone off if I care about them. And I cared about this girl deeply and I still very, very much do. So I'm watching my best friend slowly become an alcoholic and her life is going in the shitter. And I know her mental health is taking a toll. So I'm taking it so easy on her, more than I really, really should have. So final straw for me, but not actually final straw, was when So, preface, my older brother and I have each other blocked on everything. We do not get along. We hadn't talked in months and months and months at this point, and she knows the entire story of why. My other brother tells me, hey, Sarah got posted on our brother's Snapchat story hugging at the bar. And I'm like, what the fuck? I messaged this girl. I'm like, hey, so you got posted on so-and-so story? And she's like, oh, yeah, LMAO, yeah, that happened. I'm like, okay, you're hanging out with an awful lot of my ops. Guess what this girl says? Mind you, this is over Snapchat text. She says, I really am, LOL. She was joking, but I was not joking when I said that she's hanging out with a lot of my ops, so that pissed me off. So I left her on red and didn't hear from her for a few days, so I removed her on Snapchat. More than a week goes by before she finally notices that I removed her, and she DMs me at like 3 in the morning, drunk rambling about how I'm an awful friend, and she said something about how how'd she phrase it? She said something about me making fun of her for her drinking problem. Mind you, the only time I ever brought up her drinking problem was when she tried to fight my boyfriend, and I was like, hey, you were so blacked out you tried to fight my boyfriend, and I guess that was me making fun of her. Like, everything came out in this conversation. She was saying I was a bad friend because I didn't hit her up anymore. I didn't care about her mental health. I wasn't doing enough. Like, I've seen so many people in my life, like, kill themselves or almost kill themselves with addiction. So, like, I knew I had to take a step back. Like, she was affecting my mental health at this point. She also said something about how she was like, I don't like your boyfriend, but I put up with him anyway. Mind you, what the fuck was I supposed to do about that? Like, I never made them hang out together. The only time that they saw each other was when she was at my house, and he lives here, so he would be, like, passing through. He wouldn't even sit in the room and hang out with us. I was dating him before her and I really started hanging out, so was I supposed to break up with him or what? She hated my boyfriend, and she hated all of my other friends. And mind you, she would, like, every few months go through Snapchat and remove literally fucking everybody, mostly friends that I was friends with that she met through me, and then they would be like, hey Kim, why did Sarah remove me? And I'd be like, I don't know, she just does that sometimes, like, I have no idea. So we kind of talked it out in this conversation, but not really. Like, there was still a lot more on my mind about it, but whatever. I added her back on Snapchat, and we just, like, barely talked for a while, and then out of nowhere, she removed me off Snapchat, okay? And within 2 hours after removing me, she posted me on Instagram. Not even a picture of us together. The first reel of the slideshow was just a picture of me that she took while we were in Florida. So I DM her. I'm like, hey, I'm really confused. And she goes, don't be. Sarah's just having an episode. Mind you, I'm so tired of the episodes at this point. A week later, she tries to add me back on Snapchat, and I don't accept it because I'm like so over it. But mind you, she's my best fucking friend, and I miss her a lot, but not this version of her. I miss the old version so much, and I'm really bad at letting people go. So like a month later, I'm like, damn, I'm thinking about her every single day. I miss her so much. So I add her back on Snapchat. We're still not really talking. I'm seeing that she's still going downtown every night, so I don't hit her up, obviously. She messages me bright and early one morning, and she's like, I have something to say. So I'm like, okay, say it. She goes, I realize that you're really my only friend. You're the only one that actually gives a fuck about me. And I'm so sorry that, like, I've been putting you through it for the past few months, whatever. We had a good conversation, but, like, she doesn't talk like that, ever. So I'm concerned. I'm like, yo, what happened for you to be saying this to me? She tells me the night before she went downtown, got blackout drunk, and the girls that she's friends with, her downtown friends, let her drive home blackout drunk. She's also not doing good mentally, so on the ride home, she purposefully crashed her car. She calls her dad, she calls her brother. They don't know it was on purpose. They just know that she's driving drunk and totaled her fucking car, so they're pissed as fuck. They're all arguing. They bring her back to her dad's house. She's so irate and loud that her dad's dog attacks her. She tells me all this, and I'm like, okay, well, this is serious. I need to step up and be a good friend, obviously. After work, I pick her up, I take her to her apartment, I help her pack her bags, because she's not allowed to stay at her own apartment anymore, unsupervised, so she's staying at her parents'. While she's staying at her parents' and her car is totaled, I'm taking care of her cats. I also tried to clean her apartment for her, because, mind you, it's fucking disastrous with the amount of after parties being thrown there, and I feel so bad for the cats. I was trying to get her out of the house every day. I was buying her food. I was just making sure that she was good every single day. She's telling me all this good stuff, how she's trying to get in treatment, she's not drinking anymore, and I'm running out of time. There has to be a part 2. I'm so sorry, because I have so much more to say. Part 2, because I have more to say. So she's telling me all this good stuff, how she's not drinking anymore, she's not going downtown, and she's looking for long-term treatment. She had just gotten fired, she got a new job, she's working every day, things look like they're going good, except I have her downtown friends on Snapchat, so I can see when they post her downtown, and they are consistently posting her downtown. So we're still talking every once in a while, but we're not really hanging out, especially because I can still see that she's going downtown. And I asked her about it. I'm like, hey, I thought you weren't going downtown. And she was like, well, yeah, I'm still going downtown, but I'm only smoking. I don't drink anymore. Flash forward to a few weeks ago, okay? I'm supposed to be on this party bus that night with one of my friends who was visiting town, like she had moved, and it was her last night in town, and I hadn't seen her yet. Something's happened, party bus fell through, I'm out and about, and I look good, so I'm like, okay, I'm not going home, I want to go downtown, and I know there's people I know downtown, but I either want someone to meet me right when I get downtown, or I want someone to go downtown with me, okay? So I'm thinking, who would be downtown? Sarah would be downtown. I call her up. I'm like, hey, Sarah, I'm on the way downtown. Please tell me you're downtown. She's like, no, I'm at work, but I'm done. You can come pick me up and we'll go downtown together. In my head, I'm thinking, fuck, bro, because like the main problem in our friendship is her drinking, and it's one thing to meet her downtown. It's another thing to like bring her downtown. Now I'm enabling it. But I already called her, so I went and picked her up. We went and picked up one of her drinking friends, and we're in my car downtown pre-gaming because I have a case in my car. As I pull out the case, I'm like, oh, right, you're not drinking anymore, right? You're just smoking? Because I have that too. She's like, no, I drink when it's offered to me. I just don't pay for it by myself. I'm like, okay, girl. She proceeds to buy her own drinks all night long, and she gets fucked up by bar number 3. Mind you, we're with her friends, okay? And so when I get a call from friend number 1 for the party bus that she's about to be at level 10, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm about to be at level 10. Fuck yeah. So I sneak out of the bar that we're in. Mind you, she's with her friends, so I'm not leaving her by herself, okay? I sneak out of the bar. I'm walking down the alley, going to level 10 to meet my other friend, and I hear her come running down the alley behind me, and she's like, where are you going? I'm like, we'll say, Ella, whatever the fuck. Ella's about to be at level 10. I'm gonna go meet Ella there. She's like, fuck yeah, let's go meet Ella, okay? And mind you, these two, they had a little bit of beef in high school, but, like, it's been so many years that, like, it's whatever. We get to level 10. I lose Sarah immediately in the crowd. I'm in the back by the bar with Ella. We're ordering shots. We're catching up. I haven't seen her in forever. I'm having a really good time. Sarah comes up behind me, and Ella immediately goes, you're fake as fuck. You're fake as fuck. Don't talk to me. You're fake as fuck. Ella's like, whoa. Mind you, Ella's fucked up. She got fucked up fast, okay? Mind you, I'm also fucked up. So when this is going on, I'm literally behind them both like, whoa. Because Ella is the type of girl to fight girls for, like, literally nothing. She's a fighter, okay? So I'm scared for Ella. And I know the only reason that they're not fighting right now is because Ella knows that Sarah's my friend. So she's not going to fight her. Ella was upset because one of Sarah's downtown drinking friends was a girl that Ella had physically fought multiple times and was not cool with at all. Ella's drunk as fuck trying to explain that she doesn't really like this downtown drinking friend. She's someone convenient to hang out with downtown. Mind you, she does not realize that she is proving Ella's point. Also, Ella is sober, okay? I'm still in the back like this. Ella eventually goes, stop talking to me. Turns around, turns her back to Sarah. Ella's looking at me like, can you believe this? That's crazy. It's super awkward. We take our shots, and then immediately lights come on. Bar closed. I had initially planned to go to an after party with Sarah and her downtown drinking friends, and the girl that Ella didn't like was going to be there. When Sarah first walked up to me and Ella were talking about an after party. I was trying to go to that after party. Mind you, this is a girl that I had not seen in forever because she does not live here, and it's her last night in town. We go outside after bar close. We're in the crowd. I'm trying to lose her in the crowd because I know that she has her downtown friends down here with her, okay? So she'll be fine if I low-key ditch her to go with the other friend. She pulls me away from the crowd. She's trying to call whoever to come pick us up to take us to this after party. And I'm like, girl, low-key, I'm not going to the after party. Because, I knew they weren't cool, but I didn't know it was still such a sore subject. So, I'm not doing that to Ella. Also, I just know she's going to be pissed as fuck I chose the name Ella for her. Anyway, Sarah's like, okay, that's fine. We can just go to Ella's after party. I'm like, girl, you should not be going to Ella's after party. She's like, why? We just talked it out in there. We're totally fine. I'm like, I was there for the entire conversation. You two did not work it out. That was not the vibe at all. She is pissed at you. So she's like, oh, so you're going to go with Ella, but not me? And I'm like, yeah, it's her last night here. I want to see her. I can see you whenever. She's immediately sobbing, and she's like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And she starts running away from me down the street, on the sidewalk, and I chase her down, because right now she's by herself. Her friends are downtown, but right now she's by herself, drunk as fuck, running away from me. I spend the next hour sitting on the sidewalk with her while she cried to me, and I'm trying to convince her that, I don't hate her at all, because I don't. I end up walking her home. Neither of us made it to an after party. I walked her home, and we're having a pretty good chat on the way there. She told me how she was talking to her stepmom about me, and her stepmom told her that she had this friend, Victoria, who she was really good friends with, and they don't talk to each other anymore. And Sarah's like, you're literally my Victoria. You're literally my Victoria. This whole time, I'm trying to be a good friend because she's drunk and emotional, but in the back of my head, I'm like, fuck, bro, I'm not going to be able to see Ella before she leaves because of this. I get her home, and she's trying to convince me to spend the night, but I'm so over it at this point that I drop her off, and I'm like, I'm going to order an Uber, and I pretended that my Uber was there. I was like, okay, my Uber's here, I'm leaving. I walked to my car. I'm a little drunk. I hung out in my car for 2 hours, forced myself to puke, and then drove home. The next morning, no. 2 days later, middle of the night, she sends me a voice message crying about how she's lost me and calling me Victoria. She was calling me Victoria. How am I even supposed to respond to that? One day, I'm at work, and she hits me up asking me to get her DoorDash, which, we have not talked since that night, and so I'm like, why the fuck would I get you DoorDash? I tell her I'm broke. She changes the topic. She's like, you'll never guess who I had at my house last night. You could give me 1,000 guesses. I would have never guessed it. It was the man that I lost my virginity to freshman year, and he literally robbed me the next year for perks. And she's hanging out with this man, letting him spend the night. Mind you, we had the biggest fight of our friendship over her hanging out with people who openly do not like me, and that I don't like them and have done me dirty in the past. Forgot to put this in the last video, but during the argument, I brought up the fact that one time, after bar closed, when we were supposed to go home together, she ended up leaving me for a man, so I got my own Uber to leave. She walks down the sidewalk a little bit and forgets I exist. I look over, and she does this with every man because she cannot stand after bar close because she's always so fucked up. But she is full body leaning on my ex-boyfriend from the other video, the same man. She is full body leaning on him, hand on his chest, laughing in his face. When I brought that up to her, she denied. But also, you probably don't even fucking remember it. You're so fucked up. Forgot to add this too. She, hit me up one day, and she was like, hey, this guy told me I need to get tested. Will you come with me to get tested? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll come with you to get tested. We went on a Friday, so her results wouldn't have come back until Monday. Saturday morning, Saturday morning, she messages me, and she was like, I got so fucked up last night, I wet this guy's bed. And I'm like, hold on. You got tested yesterday, so why would you go home with a man? And she backpedaled real fast. She was like, no, we just hung out. I just slept in his bed, that's all. But also, I am the type of friend to lecture you, so I know that she probably fucking lied to me. And guess what? The test was fucking positive. She got the meds to clear it up, right? And she told me that they kept making her puke. And so she couldn't keep him down. And I was like, okay, well, you need to go back to your doctor and get a different kind of pill because they have multiple pills for it. And if you're not keeping it down, it's not helping you. She never ended up doing that. Guess what? Months later, she messages me and she's like, I have it again. And I'm low-key pretty sure that she had it the whole fucking time. I also feel so bad because the guy who told her to get tested was one of my friend's friend that she had set up with Sarah. He had just got out of a long-term relationship. This was his first girl that he was talking to, and he caught something from her. Okay, sorry to throw this in right at the end, but I also just remembered that the night that she tried to fight my boyfriend, when she thought that I was taking her to Hunter's house, she's in the back seat in the middle trying to feel my brother up. And he's also drunk, but like he didn't tell me until a while later. Also, he had a girlfriend at the time. And also, I know sober, she never would have done that in her life. Like, I do not think that she had a secret crush on my brother at all or anything like that. I think that she just like cannot control herself when she's drunk. I don't even have a moral of the story. That's just where we're at this point. Yeah. If you stayed this long, I really appreciate it because this is almost 20 minutes in. So, thank you.
I have tea. And I don't normally share drama on TikTok, but this deserves it. So, where do I begin? At the beginning of April, I get added on Quick Ad by a guy named Bill Smith. That is literally his name, okay? And my first thing, like, I have a really big social media following on numerous platforms, okay? TikTok is not one of them. And so my first thing is like, okay, is this person real? One, what's their snap score? Well, this man is real. Like, I mean, he starts Snapchatting me from the jump. Like, him, okay? And I'm Snapchatting him back. We're having a conversation. His snap score is at like 10,000. He's a cop in my town, okay? And I don't think anything of it because why would I? And so me and him just start talking, like literally casual conversations from the jump. And he's telling me about his life and his job, and I'm telling him about me, just like how you would getting to know somebody. Well, this proceeds, okay? And I DoorDash in the evening, and he was on duty one night, and I'm DoorDashing, and it's pretty late. And he was like, well, let's play a game. And I'm like, okay, actually, yeah, like I might have said it. And I was like, he wanted a hug. That's how it all started. And he wanted to come give me a hug. And I said the comment, catch me if you can while I'm DoorDashing tonight. Okay? My daughter's with me. She loves DoorDashing. So it's pretty late on a Saturday night. And this, whatever, like I'm DoorDashing, I'm making deliveries. I like would randomly like Snapchat him a picture of like what side of town I was on, what side of town he was on. Long story short, he catches me, okay? I'm passing a pretty busy intersection, and he flashes his lights at me because he's coming the other direction, and he asked me previously in the night what kind of car I drove. And he turns around and, like, rides my ass like he's gonna pull me over, and I stop at a closed gas station in town called the Country Mart, okay? So, at this gas station, he pulls in, I pull in, he pulls up to, like, a pump area in front, and I'm like on the other side, so like I'm not even parked near him, and he gets out, the gas station's closed. And we like meet in the middle, okay? My daughter's in the car. Before this, he knew my daughter was with me, so he had told me that he was going to the police station to pick out a couple options for stuffed animals to give her a stuffed animal if he caught me DoorDashing. I was like, that's awesome. So all night my daughter's in on this game too. So she gets out of the car and walks up to him, and he like, it's like, hey, nice to meet you, being a cop, okay? Like, he's in uniform, and he hands my daughter a stuffed animal, and she takes the stuffed animal, and she gets back in the car, and me and him sit out there and we shoot the shit. He actually takes a phone call. Well, I'm not stupid. Like, I am very much I'm 30 and single, and I date pretty casually, like go to dinners and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna take a picture, like, whatever, this is funny. And so I took a picture of him, like, on his phone, leaned up, like, with his foot up against the car, in uniform, whatever. And I sent it to my best friend, and I was like, being funny. I was like, haha, cop got me. And, like, had to tell her the story the next day. So, the night goes on, weeks go on. During these weeks, I mean, we're talking regularly, getting personal with each other. He told me he had kids. I asked him about him and his ex. He said they've been separated for 1.5 years. They co-parent really well. They just grew apart, whatever. Okay. We're adults. We send things back and forth. on Snapchat, adult things a couple times, said some things that were probably, I'm not going to repeat on here, and whatever. One night I'm out door dashing again, and he wanted to see me, and he was on duty, okay? And he's like, hey, after this run, and if you get done doing what you're doing, because I had to stop at Meyer, and he was like, you should drive to, I'm not going to say things on here to like let you know where I'm at, but a park really close to where I was at. And I'm like, all right, cool, like, yeah, I'll come see you. So I go to this park, and it's really late at night again, because that's how my life functions. And he's like parked off to the side in like a little area, and he's out waiting on me in his uniform. And I come up to him, and we're talking, and he leans down, and he kisses me, all right? Excuse me. So this cop kisses me, and then he like proceeds to grab my ass and whatever, because at this point, like, I felt like I was getting personal with this guy. He was making comments about he wanted to go on dates. He would love to like see me after busy schedules get done, because I'm busy at work, he's busy at work, we have kids, whatever, okay? He gets a call, he has to go on a run, so he leaves the park because he's on duty. So he takes off, and he texts me, and he like sends me a video of him on this run. Conversations proceed, okay? And to me, there was nothing wrong with him. He worked nights, so he'd sleep in during the day, and then he'd Snapchat me while he was on duty. And I didn't think anything of it, because why would I? Well, here recently, this man completely just vanishes. Okay, vanishes off Snapchat. Like, I've like Snapchatted him, and that's the only way we communicated, because we just talked all the time, so I didn't ask for anything else, because I don't know. Now looking back on it, I'm fucking stupid. But anyway, we Snapchat each other, and he just hasn't opened my Snapchats in like 4 days. So I am now like, okay, this is really weird. Like, really weird. So I ask a personal acquaintance, hey, like, I showed him the picture of the cop that I took. So I show him the picture of the cop, and I said, do you know who this is? Because he has connections with our police department. And he was like, hold on a second. So he made a few things happen, and he told me this guy's legit name, and it was not the name that he has been giving me for the last little over a month. Like, a completely different name, okay? And now looking back on it, I'm freaking stupid, and I should have probably looked into it, but I didn't, because he was talking to me all the time. We were literally just talking. So I go to do some digging. Here's where shit gets really, really going. He's married. Shit gets really, really going. He's married with children. All right, that sucks. But I'm also I'm gonna tell your wife, because that's freaking crazy. So I contact acquaintances, and I get his wife's number. This gets me fucking heated. And I text her, and I was like, hey, can you call me? And she's like, no, I can't. And she said, can you just text me? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna text you. Like, I have a lot of details. Like, whenever you get a second, just call me. This is not a scam. I just feel like I need to tell you something. She calls me, and I fill her in on everything I just told you, and some more like details that we had like conversating, so she knew what I was talking about. She comes back at me and literally says, I don't believe you. And I said, why? And she said, you're just probably a druggie out here trying to get back at my husband because he arrested you at some point in time. And I said, no. I said, that's not the case. I said, you can look up my criminal record. I said, there's nothing on there. I have 3 things. My 2 divorces, because fuck marriage, and an infraction I had for a seatbelt in 2016. I don't have a drug problem. I don't have a drinking problem. I work for my family's business here in our town. I do things for the community. I have a very close-knit group of friends. And I'm telling her all this, defending myself. And now, why? So she's texting me, and she's like, I just don't believe you. Well, then she would ask me, do you have any other proof? So I go through and I'm not gonna put his information on blast. And I tell this girl things that he's told me. And she's like, you could have got that from Facebook. And I said, I didn't even know this man's name until here recently. As a woman, I done what I need to do. I let you know that your husband's stepping out on you. I sent you a picture of his Snapchat thing. I sent you the picture of him at the gas station. And then even whenever she was like, I don't believe you, I was like, my daughter's at her dad's, and if you really need to know what happened that night, you can call and you can talk to my daughter. And I said, and she'll tell you that we were playing a game with him and he gave her a stuffed animal. And she was like, cops give a lot of kids stuffed animals. I said, 11 o'clock at night at a closed gas station? That's wild. And so now she is just texting me. So she's still accusing me of making up this story for some reason to get back at her husband, the cop, which is crazy to me because she doesn't know me. I support police officers. I support anybody, fire department, EMTs. I support all of you, every single one of you on this platform that do that, because good for you for having the balls and the courage to sacrifice your life for somebody else's who probably doesn't appreciate you. Good for you. Like, I wish that more people were like them. And then for her to just sit here and accuse me of being on drugs or being pulled over and I'm trying to get back at her husband. As a woman, I am like very pissed off, because if you don't know how uncomfortable it was for me to already call and tell you what I know, you're crazy. And 2, why would I go out of my way? I have a good support system, a good life, a good family, good people around me. I'm a genuine, like, hardworking lover person. Why would I go out of my way to contact you to make up a fucking story? Now, if you Googled my name and was like, oh yeah, this lady has all these charges and my husband's pulled her over this many times, yeah, I would be questioning things. But that's not the case. And so my last message to her was like, girl, the only person I care about who judges me is God. And I know that he's happy that I let you know. And what you do beyond this point is on you. But as a woman, I am so pissed off that you're going to accuse me of doing something to make up a story about your fucking husband. Like, I am... And I'm not, if you get in the comment section, I'm not going to give you names. I'm not going to give you any more details about anything like that, or the police department or anything, because that's beyond the point. What this video is I'm absolutely baffled at women. Like, I am a girl's girl, 100% a girl's girl. And what? So she can live in her little fantasy. I even, like, one of the details, I, like, told her about stuff inside her house. And then she was like, we have a ton of people that come over here. They could have just told you. I didn't even know your husband's name until recently. I'm not friends with you or him on Facebook because I didn't even think that was his fucking name. If I knew people associated with you, I would have never been in this situation because I would have known he was married. Sorry, I'm heated. But that's my rant for today. So if a woman reaches out to you as a woman and lets you know that your man is stepping out, I promise you that he's probably stepping out because it's just as uncomfortable for us on the other end to let you know. Especially whenever there's, like, emotions involved at this point. So, have a happy fucking Saturday.
Imagine funding your best friend's baby shower and then you don't even get invited to it. Let's talk. This is probably gonna have to be in 2 or 3 parts just because to get the full story, you're gonna need the full background. So, background. I had been friends with my best friend for about 3 years. We were close. So close that her grandparents essentially adopted us. We were going on trips with them, trips that they were paying for. We were going out to the West Coast to see her brother in Arizona. We, even this past Christmas, spent Christmas with them. I'm talking whole extended family got presents for us and we got presents for them. I'm talking I was her kid's emergency contacts. I'm talking we were at her house at least 2 or 3 times a week. I'm talking the first phone call we made in the morning was to each other. I'm talking about as close as you can get. I'm talking when her grandma died. We all love husbands, but her husband couldn't even pack for the kids. because he had to fly down and bring the kids down at a separate time. So I went to the house and I packed the kids and made sure that they had their proper meds for the plane ride for him. So let's talk about it. Let's go back to the fall of last year. My best friend announces that she is pregnant. We're ecstatic. We're through the moon. For context, none of her family or her husband's family live here. So I immediately was like, yo, I got this. I got the baby shower. This is what we're doing. And since I was already tight with her family, I pretty much immediately called her mom. And I was like, let's do this, right? So I started getting into it. Pretty much from day one started a Pinterest board, started doing all the things. Fast forward to a couple weeks later, we were at her house with another mutual friend that we knew, and their mutual friends were opening up a brand new restaurant. And they pulled me aside and was like, listen, if you're looking for a venue, we'll do it. We'll do it for almost no charge. We'll handle it all. I'll work with you. Like, we got this. Perfect. Love saving money. I had already planned on paying for all of it. Her parents had said they would pay, but I was just going to front it for them as the kind gesture. So we started planning this baby shower. I am talking to her mom once a week. Like, no joke, once a week. Texting, mostly phone calls. Seeing her when she comes in town. And we were doing the whole 9 yards. She had expressed the things that she wanted to do, and totally fine. A key part in all this. My friend had 2 other friends. We're going to call them friend A and friend B for this. And my husband, those weren't our type of people. That's what I'm going to say about that. We quickly realized that those 2 friends were not aligned with what we do for recreational activities on the weekends. So I wasn't really friends with them. Cordial, fine, nothing wrong, but I wasn't friends with them. So I told her mom, hey, I think it's best if we let friend A and friend B know about the baby shower, right? I don't want people planning 2 things. She said, no. We're going to let them know once we get everything set and we're ready for the invitations. One thing you also need to know about my friend's mom is that we're just going to call it like it is, very controlling. She also lost her mom a week after my friend found out she was pregnant. So back in the early fall, September of 2025. That's going to be key for this story. So I'm doing what she says. She wants me to call for a venue. She wants me to call around. I say, no worries. I already got a venue. No big deal, right? Everything is on track. Everything is fine. I have worked with the restaurant owners. They were going to let us cater whatever we wanted. Literally, whatever we wanted. Now we're going to fast forward to December. We go on vacation with our whole family. Me, her mom, and her aunt all go for a spa day. We're all talking about the baby shower, the invites, everything. Just everything. We talk about the invites, and her mom said that she wanted paper ones, and I was like, well, usually people do e-invites now. My friend types up, Mom, no one does paper ones. We're going to do e-invites. No big deal. I said, as soon as I get home, I'll work on it. We'll finish it up and we'll send the invites out. We probably talked for an hour and a half in the spa, okay? So at the end of the trip, her mom gives me a hug and says, thank you so much for planning all of this. Just do what you're doing. I can't wait to just show up. I know that what you're doing is in good hands. Like almost verbatim words. Okay? Verbatim. So I go home. I get the list going. And I'm about to send invites out. And I get a text message saying, yeah, no, we're not going to do the baby shower. We're going to hold off. What? What are you talking about? Well, friend B and friend A said something. Still to this day, don't know what was said. And friend B was like, well, I'm not going to be in town. Mind you, my friend had known about the baby shower and the date at that point for about 2 months. And friend B, who is not going to be in town, works for her. Sees her every day for 8 hours a day. Friend B had known for months when the baby shower was. So at this point, I'm like, guys, like, what is going on? Like, I had been planning this for, at this point, 4 months. Like, what do you mean? We're not going to do it there. I don't know what's going on. And they're like, well, I don't know, and blah, 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 blah. I'm starting to get really angry at this point. I'm like, are you kidding me? So my friend calls me. And this is where I realized that you sometimes don't realize that your friends are not really your friends. She calls and she said, what's going on with this baby shower? And I said, don't worry, I've got it all handled. Was already talking with so-and-so. We're going to do it there. Well, you didn't let anybody help in this baby shower. What? Yes. No, I did. I let everybody help. Well, my mom's saying that you never let her volunteer to do anything and you never asked her about anything. What? Not only did we have phone calls, but were we not all in the spa together for an hour and a half talking about your baby shower? What? Ma'am. So at this point, I start shutting down. And then she said, well, what have you done? And I said, everything's done. Everything's planned. She's like, well, what did you get for the food? And I said, so-and-so, they're willing to cater whatever you want. And she literally said, and I will never forget this day because this is the day I knew my friendship was over. She said, oh, so you haven't planned the baby shower. You don't have everything planned. Go to part 2. Part 2 of funded a baby shower that I was never invited to. So at this point, I'm perplexed. I'm actually crying at this point. I'm so hurt. She accused me of basically not letting any of her family help, which was in touch with her family for months. I knew that they were doing certain things when we were there, but to accuse someone of not letting them in is just wild. And this is where it comes back, where she said, my mom was having a hard time because her mom died. My grandma died. So, okay, but that doesn't really excuse the behavior of throwing someone underneath the bus and pretending like your work for 4 months was done in secret and you never told anybody, because that's so far from the truth. It's not even funny. And she was not nice on the phone. I knew that phone call that was the end of the friendship, because I would never, ever speak to my friend that way. Ever. I'm so thankful for what you did. I'm so thankful that you planned this. Nothing. Accusatory out the ass. And so I finally put everybody in a group text, and I basically said, like, I can't redo a baby shower. Like, I was hitting the busiest part of my season for my agency, and I already had a business to run, and I couldn't redo everything. And I was like, if someone else wants to take it over, like, do it. I'm just going to show up. Everything's great. And then she didn't talk to me at all. Not once did she apologize for being mean. Not once did she apologize, like, I'm so sorry, like, my family threw you underneath the bus. Like, and then I got the baby shower invite, and it was for a day I couldn't attend because they checked with friend A and friend B to make sure that they could come, but they didn't check to see if I could come. That was 5 months ago. And I have yet to receive anything. No one thinks that they did anything wrong. And it was probably one of the most hurtful things that have ever been done in my life to me, ever, honestly. I put time, I put effort, talking with her family, doing exactly what I was told to do because, again, her mom's a little controlling. And I was thrown underneath the bus. Like, I never talked to anybody, never told anybody what I was doing, kept everything in secret, blah, 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 blah. And you kind of look at yourself and you're like, did I go crazy for 4 months? Like, did I imagine the phone calls, the text messages, the vacation where we talked about the baby shower, the whole vacation? It was wild. I could just never imagine doing that to my friend, ever. For someone to go out of their way and think about their family and immediately include their family in something and trying to do the right thing. So, yeah, to this day, nothing. Like I didn't exist. From what I gather, they don't see that they did anything wrong either. My husband still talks to her husband. My husband's a grown man. He can have whatever friends he wants, and I really don't give a shit. But it is like I never existed, and they think that they did nothing wrong by canceling the 4 months worth of work. The planning, I mean, even though they were going to cater or whatever, I still went over, like, mini sandwiches and the fruit plates and the Pinterest boards of what it would look like and sending it to her mom, and, like, you start to think you're delusional at some point. And then you have to realize that you're not. And it hurts. So, yeah. That's how I funded a baby shower and didn't get invited to it. So, friends, if someone throws you a baby shower, don't do that. Because it sucks.
Little story time for you guys about my trip to Mexico for some dental work. I'm going to fill you in. If you need dental work, listen to this video because I'm going to tell you how to save thousands of dollars. Okay. So I canceled my health insurance here in the United States. It's way too freaking expensive. It was going to be $1,600 a month, and I'm not doing that dumb shit for shitty healthcare. So I canceled our healthcare insurance, including our dental. And so I needed a root canal and I needed a crown. I had an infection and I needed to get it fixed. I asked ChatGPT to help me figure out where in Mexico is the best place to go to get dental work done. It gave me several options. I researched them all and I landed on Los Algodones. Algodones, Los Algodones. All right. So I took a girlfriend with me, paid for most of her trip and my trip. We flew from Houston to Phoenix, Arizona on Southwest, got there and drove, I think it was about 2 hours to Yuma, Arizona. And that's where we actually stayed. We stayed at the Best Western Foothills something. It was a great hotel, no problems. It was really clean, nice hotel. Kind of a smaller town, but it was wonderful. And so we stayed there, and then 3 days in a row we drove from Yuma about 20 minutes to get to the border crossing at Los Algodones. There's a parking lot right outside. You park. I think I paid, $8 or $10 or whatever to park there. Walked across the border. My dentist office that I already had the appointment set with, they knew I was coming. They sent a car to come pick us up at the border crossing. So when we crossed over, we only walked like maybe 1 block, and they told us this little store, just wait there for us. And there was a bench outside. So we just sat there and waited for the car. Car pulls up. Nice little car. There's a little coupe that they picked us up in. I'm going to show you pictures of the car and also the building that the dentist office building, so you can see what it looks like. And I'll tell you the names and everything like that. So if you're looking for somewhere to go, then this is a really good option. I highly, highly recommend them. So we did that 3 days in a row. They picked me up and they dropped me back off. That way I could walk back across the border to go back to the parking lot every day. So that was included in the price. Okay. And there was no extra cost for that or anything like that. I did tip the driver, but, I told you I needed a root canal, a crown, and then I ended up needing 4 fillings, and I got a deep cleaning. Here in the United States, that would have cost me cash out of my pocket at least over $5,000. $5,500 probably is what I would assume it would cost me. And over there at this dentist office, $1,045. $1,045. Okay. I was flabbergasted. We ended up making a little vacation out of it. It was fun. We, hung out, went to some restaurants, and we went to San Diego one day. We drove 2 hours, went to San Diego one day and did a whale watching tour. It was super fun. There's also a casino, like when you turn on the road to go to Los Algodones border crossing, there's a casino that's like right there when you get off the main road and you're on that road to go to the border crossing. There's a big hotel right there, and it was a casino hotel. So we stopped there one day. That was cool. And I was like, man, if I would have known that was there, I probably would have stayed at that hotel, because it's just like literally 5 minutes to get to the border crossing. So they made it very easy. Basically, they picked us up, dropped us back off. The office was super clean, guys. Like, everybody spoke English. The office was super clean. They were so, so friendly. The work was great. Everything they did was great. I mean, I was super, super impressed. So if you're needing dental work and you can't afford it, I'm telling you, they can do implants, super, super cheap. You can call ahead of time and you can get pricing for whatever you need done. We're going to be going back because my son and my husband need some dental work. So we're going back, and that's where I'm taking them, because it's just an insane difference in what you're going to spend here and what you're going to spend there. Like, I literally would need to sell a house to be able to fix my teeth here. It's who can do that? Like, who can afford that? It just pisses me off. Anyways, I hope you found this informative. If you have any questions, let me know.
Hi guys. So as some of y'all know, some of y'all know, my sweet 16 was supposed to be yesterday, May 2nd. A lot happened. I'm not gonna cry though, because I'm not gonna cry. So everything started off good. I'm not crying, guys. Everything started off good. We got up in the morning. Me and my mom, we got up at 5. We were supposed to get there at 6. We got there. My hair, makeup, you guys see, my hair was done. I got my makeup done. So I'm like in the makeup chair, and then I get a call, and it's the police, and they're telling me that they pulled over my dad. And then my mom's outside sleeping in the car, so I'm just like, okay, like I have to go get her, So I went to go give her the phone. I had to go back inside to finish my hair, and then I got out, and then I don't know exactly what happened, why they pulled him over. My sisters went over there, and basically ICE was there, and they detained my dad. They detained my dad only, right? And then me and my mom get to like the front of our apartments, so then we're parked in front of the front office. My mom's outside the car talking to talking to one of the guys that saw what happened with my dad, so like we could get like the full story, because we didn't know what happened. Like, we didn't know what happened. So yeah, and then 2 cars, not police cars, just 2 random cars pulled up in front of the car that I was. It was my mom and it was just me and my mom, guys. It was just me and my mom. They pulled up in front, 1 car right here, 1 car right here. 2 ICE police come out. My mom jumps into the car, and then they pull out the gun on my mom, and that scared her really bad. So yes, she got out. She got out. They detained her. They were being so aggressive. They were being really aggressive. The look on my mom's face, guys, I've never seen her so scared. It was really traumatizing to me. Sorry, guys. I'm not crying. Like, I don't know. Once I saw the gun, I ran out the car. I ran to her side. But since I said like there was 2, one of the ICE agents started holding me. Oh my God, started holding me, and then I'm crying. They were like gonna put me in handcuffs, and then the other ICE agent, he was like, why are you putting her in handcuffs? Because exactly, why were you putting me in handcuffs? I'm putting the handcuffs up, but like he still had my hands like behind me. And then this freaking I don't even know who this lady was. This random lady was just there, and she was like, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I was like, y'all don't understand. What are y'all doing? And I was just kept screaming, and I was, after they had detained my mom, like they just left me there. I was by myself. They detained my mom. Everybody drove off. I was there crying. My sisters came. We were trying to see what we could do. I needed to spread this because that wasn't right, and no family should like be scared, you know, to like go out. Like, the first off, this shouldn't be happening. And yeah, so they took my mom and my dad. We did talk to them this morning. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Just everything. My mom, she's been here since she was 11. She came here at 11. Her whole life was here. Her whole life is here. She has 6 kids. Her whole family's here. My dad only knows this. Like, my dad's been here. Like,
good morning. I have another atrocious first date story time for you. These are just really funny to me. The year is 2021. I'm now at a different college. I'm at a small Christian college in Dallas, and I'd been there for like a year, and I started talking to this guy. I went to, again, very small Christian college, 4,000 people total. So you saw like everyone, I saw this man every single day. I also lived in a townhome on campus, and he lived 4 doors down from me. I would always go and study at our coffee house. He was a barista at the coffee house. I saw this man every single day. We established like early on, like we have feelings for each other. We like each other. So we're like texting all the time. And I really like him. I think he's really funny. I think he's cool. Like, whatever. We have a lot of similar interests. And I need you to all get there with me that I was 20 years old at the time. So nothing was quite developed up here. So I literally told this man, we had been texting every single day for 3 months. And I know that doesn't sound like a long time, but texting someone every single day for 3 months, like, I knew so much about this person. We just talked all the time, but he was not asking me out on a date. I'm sweating. Hold on. This is so embarrassing. I literally had to tell him, I'm like, if you want to keep doing this, like talking, like I'm gonna need you to ask me out on a date. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go on a date. So he makes plans. We're both like big art nerds. So he makes a plan. We'll go to the art museum 11 a.m. this Saturday. We'll get lunch after. I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds so great. I'm so excited. This is gonna be the best. Saturday rolls around. Again, I need you all to just get there with me. Texted this man every single day for 3 months. It's 8 a.m. I was up early. I went on a run. So I texted him probably like 7. I don't exactly remember. Pretty early in the morning. I was like, hey, good morning. Like, I'm so excited for today. Nothing. I don't think much of it. It's a Saturday. But Also, again, I knew this man pretty well, and I knew every single Saturday he worked at the coffee house from 6 to like 9. Like, he was also up early. Didn't hear anything from him. I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, okay, it must be like busy at the coffee house. I go to the coffee house, not like trying to like stalk him or anything. I just genuinely wanted a coffee. And he wasn't there, which was weird. He never missed work, and I wasn't hearing from him. He's not at work. I'm like, oh no. It's like now, I hadn't heard from him. It's like 10:30. I'm like texting him like a bunch. I'm like, hey, like, are you picking me up? Like, what's the plan? Like, haven't heard from you. What's going on? So now I'm embarrassed because I've like told all my housemates like I'm going on a date, and it's like 11:30, and my friends are like, hello, like, why are you still here? I'm like, I haven't heard from him all morning. I don't know what's going on. This man has become Casper the Ghost. He is like no longer with us, and I'm literally freaking out. I'm like, I got ghosted the day that I'm supposed to go on my first date with this man. Like, this is criminal act. Like, this is a psychopath. Anyway, so I'm just like moping around all day. Like, he still hasn't texted me. I'm like, whatever, like, this sucks. This man texts me at 6:30 p.m. and he says, sorry, I was doing homework. Get out of my face! And again, nothing's developed up here. I like obviously do not know my self-worth. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Oh, shut up. He says, do you just want to go at IKEA, walk around, and maybe get some dinner? I agree to this. I'm not okay. I'm not well. So he like drives over, like, again, 4 doors down to my townhome. I'm thinking like, please come to the door, please come to the door, please come to the door. He does not come to the door. He just texts me he's here. Should not have gone in that car. Get in the car. It's incredibly awkward because I'm like pissed at this man, but somehow I'm in the car with him. And we go to IKEA. I'm thinking he's like buying something for his room. He genuinely just wanted to walk around IKEA. I'm like, okay. Which, like, don't get me wrong, IKEA is a blast. I like went there all the time growing up, but like I'm now in IKEA with someone that I'm super pissed with, but also have feelings towards. I just didn't want to be there. So we literally just did one lap around IKEA. We literally just like basically sprint walked through the store. It was so weird. And then afterwards, he was like, okay, we'll go to Cane's. It was right across the street. I love Cane's. I have no problem with that. I'm thinking at least, like, we'll like, sit down in Cane's and talk. That would be great. He enters the drive-thru. And at least he paid for my meal. Okay, he gets maybe 1 point, if that, for paying for my meal. I was at the point, I was like, I'm sure that he's going to, like, ask for my debit card. But he paid. We get our Cane's, and he's like, do you just want to hang out? Like at our townhouse for a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. Again, I live 4 doors down from him, not a big deal. Also, like, he lived with 6 other guys, and a couple of those guys I was friends with. So I was like, you know what, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm just hanging out with, like, friends, whatever. And so we go back to his townhouse. We're all, like, sitting in the living room, literally, like, me, him, and, like, 4 other guys. And it's, like, chill. I'm, like, again, I'm like, over it. But I'm like, at least, like, I'm talking to other people. I'm not, like, stuck in a car with this man. I'm, like, not even talking to him at this point. I had been there. I'm, like, eating my Cane's. I'm talking to this other guy. I'm like, la, la, la. Like, we're just chatting, whatever. I'm going to break out in hives when I say this. This man stands up. Again, we're all just sitting in a living room space. He stands up. Everyone's mid-conversation, and he loudly announces, Haley, I think you should leave now. The way I just was like crawling into my skin, I'm sure my face was beet red. I'm so embarrassed. I'm just sitting there in shock for a second. He's just like, I'm like, oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm thinking, okay, at least he'll like walk me to the door. I live maybe 50 feet from him. Maybe like he walks out the door. And like maybe, so I'm like, maybe he'll walk me to my door at least. Like he's just announced in front of everyone that he would like me to leave, which is, it's not like I was there at 3 a.m. It had, I'm not joking. It must have been 9 p.m. It wasn't like I wasn't there in the middle of the night just like lurking. Like we had just gotten there 15 minutes prior. I didn't even get to finish my box combo. But no, he he just waits for me to get up and leave. And like all these like guys are staring at me like, one guy literally was like, hey, like, why did you just say that? Someone had my back, but I literally walked home, cried. I was like, that was so, I wasn't even mad, like, knowing that was like I was never gonna talk to this man again. I was so embarrassed. I like literally started crying on my 50-foot walk home. The cherry on top of the cake is obviously, this is probably April 2021. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I've said, this is someone that I've been talking to for 3 months. I leave to go work at a camp. And I met my now husband there. I'm like locked in from the jump with this man. And the man from college prior texted me in like the middle of the summer, like, hey, I'm messed up. They always come back, ladies. And I said, oh. Boo hoo hoo. Sorry. It was aggressive. Anyways, that's just another like crazy thing that happened.
Hi guys, I have a very quick question and story to tell you. I actually need input from women and men on this one, if possible. I'm not driving, I'm paying attention. Don't worry, I've parked so I can do this before I get home, because I have to tell you guys this before I get back home. So, and I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible, only telling you the facts, so that way you can make your own judgment and give me some opinions. Basically, last week we went to go and meet friends in Orlando. We stayed at the Disney property. They stayed off Disney property to do something else. So what we were going to do is we were going to go to Disney one day. We were going to have brunch and then ride a few rides. And then we were going to go meet with our friends and spend the day with them at the pool. So that morning we went to Disney. We went to Magic Kingdom. And every time we go, we always rent a double stroller. I think it's like $30. And a single stroller. I think it's 15 for the day. You get the whole stroller for the day. So if we wanted to go back that night, which we ended up doing. So anyway, so we go to eat. And when we come back, one of our strollers is missing. It didn't have any of our stuff. It just had our name, like, big, you know, on the back of it. So we look around. We don't know where it is. We don't know what happened. We think it may be a worker moved it to a different spot. So we search, whatever. Eventually, we're like, chalk it up as a loss. We'll just explain to the people what happened. Someone took it. I don't know. Which was crazy. Never, ever, 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 ever in my life happened at Disney. But anyway. So I'm like, hey, can we go to Tomorrowland so I can get some coffee at Joffrey's and then we can like walk out. As we're there, we see Stitch, and my youngest loves Stitch. So I brought the kids over to watch Stitch, and my husband said, I'll be right back. I said, okay, that's fine. So he comes back around the corner and he has a stroller and it's piled high with shit everywhere. And I'm like looking at him. I'm like, is that our stroller? And he was like, yeah. He's like, they flipped our name upside down and then piled a whole bunch of stuff on it so we couldn't find it. I was like, oh, well, that's really shady. Like, that's really crappy to happen, you know, like, whatever. So then he starts going, my husband, he starts going through their personal bags that were on the stroller. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, they are going to pay me for my time and inconvenience. Nope. No, we don't steal. I said, we're not stealing. We don't steal from people. Like, my kids are right here. Oh, okay, unbiased. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to take it where you found it, and we can put all of their stuff in a pile, and they'll get the hint when they come back and the stroller's gone. So we walked back over there, and of course, hundreds of people, hundreds. We're by one of the popular rides. The line's 2 miles long, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's just go. And so then there was a bag tied to our stroller, a plastic bag. Well, he rips it off, and inside is a massive bucket of KFC chicken. I had so many questions. How the hell did you get that in the park? How is it still piping hot? Why have I not been doing this? So many questions. I don't even know where the nearest KFC is. Like, did they order it to the park? Anyway, he proceeds to open the chicken and dump it all over the ground. And by that point, someone stepped out of the line we were near. Hey. So my husband's immediate reaction, and he was pissed. And I just knew it wasn't gonna be good. And the guy immediately, hey. And my husband, fuck you, screaming at this guy. You know what you fucking did? So by that point, I guess I didn't hear the guy say this, but I guess the guy said something about, can I have my stuff back, or something about his stuff. So my husband proceeds to grab the stuff off the stroller and throw it as hard as he could across the way. Well, it just so happened to go into a planter next to a lady with her infant. So now she's pissed, and rightly so. So she's yelling, not cussing. She's just visibly upset at my husband, rightly so. And I'm like this. I'm frozen. I'm in shock. It's like watching a train wreck, and I can't do anything. Hindsight's 2020. I should have pushed the kids just away, just left. Anyway, so has a stroller now, cussing, walking off, screaming, fuck you, and then he's like, step up, and he's bowing up. Like, you're really trying to fight this guy in Tomorrowland. Oh my God. Anyway, he walks off without us. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I finally just look at the lady, because she was kind of sort of near us, and I'm apologizing profusely. And she's giving me this look. I don't know if she realized that I was with him, embarrassingly. So I apologized to her, and I walked away, and I knew I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't say anything, because it would implode and ruin our entire trip. So all I said when I finally caught up to him was, you just embarrassed the shit out of us. So he gave me like a pat on the shoulder and said, sorry. And then he looked at the kids and said, I'm sorry that you guys had to see that. I shouldn't have done that in front of you. What? I said nothing. I knew how I was going to handle it in my head. That was not going to cause a fight. And so then we left. We went up to meet with friends. The story came up. The husband that we met up with started laughing, and I think my husband took that as a, congratulations on what you did kind of a thing. He was laughing about the chicken incident. And so my husband proceeds to say in front of me and the other wife, my friend, women just need to let the men handle situations like this, because when you guys try to help in any way, it just makes things so much worse. Noted. Okay. So all I said was, I didn't say anything to you during this whole thing. Never said a word. That was it. We haven't talked about it since. That was it. I need to know, because my husband talks like this is all guys. All men. This is all men. So I'm obviously extremely pissed. I mean, like, fuming mad. I don't know how he didn't get kicked out. I don't know how he didn't get in trouble. I don't know how nothing happened, actually. Maybe I am overreacting. Maybe it wasn't that bad. I don't know. But he acts like this is the reaction of all men. So men, is this normal? Is this normal? Like, if it is, fine. Fine. Women, what would you have done in that situation? Obviously, I know I should have walked away. I should have. But what would you have done if you were in that situation? And also, if you were at Magic Kingdom Tomorrowland last week and you happened to get that on video, there's no way there were hundreds of people around us and not one person got that on video. There is no way that's not on video somewhere. I need a copy of that video, please. And thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly just prefer to hang out with guys. I'm just like a chill, like, beer girl. Like, I'm even wearing like the Budweiser sweatshirt. It's just like less drama.
Hello, my name is Beth. I'm 31 years old, and when I was 12, I was sexually assaulted and groomed by a family member in my family, and I'm ready to speak up about it. May of 2025, I finally filed a police report on a family member that groomed and sexually assaulted me after 17 years. I also want to preface the reason why it took 17 years is because my family swept it under the rug. April is Sexual Assault Month and Awareness Month, and I think I'm just finally ready to talk about what's happened to me. I want to start by saying I'm not going to name any names in this because there are charges that are still pending, so I am not going to say any names or anything, but I am going to tell you my story on how this all started. I want to start from the beginning. So my mom remarried and married my stepdad, and he adopted me. And that's the beginning on how I got into this side of the family. So I had just moved back to Alabama, and I have lived here most of my life. There was a time where we had just moved to West Virginia for a couple of years, and that's where my mom is from. And yeah, I just didn't really have a whole lot of friends, and I was honestly scared to go stay the night at places when I was younger. So like staying at a family member's house just made me feel good, and they were like the cool family member, so I was comfortable there. Sorry, this is just really difficult to even say. The first time my family member sexually assaulted me, I was laying in his daughter's room. Mind you, she was 4, maybe even younger than that. I honestly can't even remember anymore, it's been so long. And I went to bed with a headache, and I was honestly getting homesick, and so I was like, maybe if I just go to bed, you know, I'll feel better. I remember I was laying in bed trying to go to bed, and I was looking out the window trying not to be homesick and just trying to get rid of my headache because I was just stressed out wanting to go home. I didn't want to bother anybody or make my mom come get me from where we was at. And the door opened, and I didn't turn around. I just thought it was maybe their daughter. And I remember someone getting in the bed, and it was him. And that was the first time he touched me inappropriately everywhere. And I really just didn't know what to do. I was kind of just shell-shocked at what had happened, and I thought it was normal. I thought it was normal in the most messed up way. And I want to go back to where I said like I would get scared of sitting at places, and at first like it would not be uncommon for me to jump in the bed with my family member because I was scared. Mind you, I'm 11, 12 years old, and people might think, you know, that's a little too much. But at the time, like, I didn't think it was weird. Like, I mean, just like you would jump in the bed with your mom and dad if you're scared. I felt this way with these family members. I felt comfortable. And so, a lot of these sexual assaults happened in the bed with the family members that it happened with. And they were both in the bed. These sexual assaults happened throughout when I was through 11 and 12. He would take me out on 4-wheeler rides, and you know, they had cool things. Like, I just loved going over there because they had 4-wheelers, they had golf carts, they had everything that I didn't have as a kid growing up. And so it was just, and you know, I'm not going to go into what my life was like as a child because there were things in my home life at home that I didn't want to be home. And so it was like an escape. And he made me feel like that he loved me and he cared for me. And mind you, you're 11 and 12-year-old girl, and you just want someone to love you, and that was it. And there would be times where he would take me on the 4-wheeler and drive like 1 or 2 miles out from the house, and he would sexually assault me there too. This happened throughout a year. And then I had my best friend, Courtney. I loved her so much, and I could talk to her about anything, and she's the only person I had ever told. And then one day, I got in trouble, and she called the house, and she asked to talk to me, and my mom said she's in trouble right now, and my friend said, is this about her family member? And my mom said, what are you talking about? So I just want to say that I never said anything. My best friend told my parents what was happening. And then they went to my room and searched it, and they found a notebook where I had kept some things I had wrote down. And that is how everything was found out. And that was hard. Like, I'm just trying to sit here and think about what happened, and it's just crazy how things transpired. Because my family member's mother quite literally said, maybe it just slipped in. And then we moved, and I didn't have contact with him for a really long time, and my stepfather continued to have a relationship with her, with his sister, and you don't know what that does to somebody. And it's just like It's kind of like looking in the mirror and it's just, or like maybe being on a carousel and it just keeps going and no one believes you. And then you continue to have a relationship with them. So that's why it took me 17 years to finally talk about this and to file a report, and I doubt anything will be done, but I'm glad I had the courage to come out and talk about it. I was raped and sodomized, and I do have a story. It's my story, and some people may not want to hear the truth, but it's the truth, and it's what happened to me. And I just don't want to go into a whole lot of detail on some things that happened because it's a lot, and this is what I can't talk about. I just want to say to anyone out there that's going through something like a grooming situation, you're not alone, because you don't know what that does to you as an adult. And now that I'm a mom, I can't imagine that ever happening to my kids. I would kill somebody. And I'll never understand why I wasn't enough, why I wasn't loved enough for someone to protect me and to do the right thing instead of worrying about their reputation. I do want to say that I have no contact with my stepfather and his family. And the sad thing is, and I don't know if it's sad or if it's good, but I don't wish anything bad on these people. And I do forgive them for what they did to me. But the pain will never go away. This pain will never go away. So anybody that's going through this, please know you're not alone. And I see you. I see you.
Today I asked my boyfriend what he likes about me the most. He said it was that I was weird. I got a fat ass. I can cook. One of those isn't true. You figure it out. But he said weird out of all those things. I'm over here trying to look like Bella Hadid. All I got to do is act like Jim Carrey. What?
Okay, so I've got one more really good unhinged client story for you. Okay, well I have like 100, but I only have time for one more right now. So this is back when I owned my salon. And it was a really busy Saturday. I had like 8 stylists. Everyone is booked or double booked. I've got like 4 assistants in training. It is like a madhouse in there, right? This new client comes in for me, okay? And right off the bat, I'm like, oh dear God. She brought 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. 4 kids. All under the age of like 5. One of them is still on the boob. And then walks in an older woman. And I'm just kind of like, okay. And the older woman has 2 little dogs on a leash. At this point, I'm looking at Haley. She's my right-hand man. And I'm like looking at her. She's the salon manager. And I'm like, oh my God. The 4 kids are bad enough. Maybe it was 5 kids. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a gaggle. And I'm like, now we have these 2 little dogs in here. Now, don't get me wrong. I love kids. I love dogs. Like I go to work though to get away from my kids. Now, I totally get it if a client has to bring their kid every now and then. And if the salon's not busy and you bring your dog, all right, cool. So this client sits down in my chair and she wants this like a complete overhaul, right? Like she had really dark hair and she wanted to be blonde and blah, blah, blah. At this point, I'm hoping she can't afford what needs to be done because I'm like hoping to make this appointment go as quickly as possible to get all these kids out of here. And then she goes, oh, don't worry. That's my mother-in-law over there. She drove all the way in from West Virginia for my appointment today to watch the kids. So why isn't she watching them? And then the mother-in-law walks outside for a minute. And here's where it gets crazy. So I'm like completing my consultation. We decide we're just gonna do like a partial highlight and tone, and I'm gonna get her in and out there as quickly as possible because what is going on here? And the mother-in-law walks back in. She walked back in with a fucking bird on her shoulder. A whole ass parakeet on her shoulder. So I'm like looking at Haley, like, I know there's like state board rules, like you can't have non-service animal dogs in the salon. But is there anything about birds? Do service birds exist? Should I make that a thing? So Haley's looking at me like, I don't know. I'm like, you're the manager, you handle it. And she's like, you're the owner and it's your client, it's your deal. And the mother-in-law, I shit you not, she looks right at me and Haley because we're both like, hi. Oh, the bird. You're right. I know what you're thinking. Probably shouldn't have brought the bird in. I'm just gonna put him back in the car. Several problems here. First of all, how are you gonna put a bird back in the car in the middle of the Georgia heat in the summer. What are you gonna do, like crack a window for it? Fly away. Who even thought it was a good idea to bring a bird to a hair appointment? And then the client's like, oh my gosh, she takes that bird everywhere. This chick drove from West Virginia to Savannah, Georgia with a freaking parakeet on her shoulder. Gotta say, I'm kind of impressed. So then the mother-in-law like comes back in and she's like, I'm gonna take the dogs too and take them back to the house. I'll be right back to get the kids and get them out of your way. And I'm like, well, no offense, but thank God, because it's really hard to do hair with one kid with you, 4 or 5 running around the chair, and you know, you got one breastfeeding into the cape. I got to make sure I don't flick bleach in the infant's eye. So the client's like, well, now that the kids are going to be leaving, can I please get, I don't know, out on 10 other services? I forget. This was like 5 years ago. And I was like, sure. So I start the appointment. That was my first mistake. I get done foiling. Foiling only takes me about 20 to 40 minutes. Forget, you know, if we did full or partial or whatever. And she goes under the dryer. The kids are still there. And then she needs to feed the baby while she's under the dryer. And I forgot there was actually 2 babies. There was one that was like an infant, like on the boob, and like a 2-year-old that was also on the boob. Well, the 2-year-old's hungry, so she needs to like breastfeed in the chair. This is Sarah. Hi. She's getting to hear the Unhinged bird story.
Hello.
So this client's under the dryer and she's like, I really need to feed my 2-year-old. I'm like, yeah, that's great. She's like, do you mind rocking the infant like in the stroller? I'm like, sure, I'm not busy at all. So I actually got one of my assistants to just like rock the stroller or whatever. We've got this client over here like feeding the 2-year-old on her boob under the dryer. The other kids are still like roaming around the salon. They're just God knows where. The mother-in-law, we're at like hour number 2 now. We're getting into things. The mother-in-law's still not back. And the little baby that was breastfeeding reaches up and pulls the whole damn hood off my dryer and breaks it. But not without crashing the whole damn dryer into his little head. So I'm like a mom, right? I'm like, oh my God, is your baby okay? Like, that's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, it happens all the time. I just can't go in here without these kids.
These are like rubber.
But she had her mother-in-law drive in from West Virginia to watch the kids during the hair appointment. The same mother-in-law that brought a bird with her and 2 dogs. So we're nearing the end of this appointment. That's like, if you know me at all, like my appointments take like 2 hours or 3 hours, like max. And I think we're on like hour 5 now. So you got me like, can you move your child? Because I can't, like, I'm trying to like cut her hair. I'm like, can you move the baby? Because it's kind of in the, oh crap, I got bleach on his head. So we're getting, and she's like, I just don't know where my mother-in-law went. This is so unlike her. Yeah. Y'all, that mother-in-law never came back, ever. So I'm like, so she just drove all the way down from West Virginia to watch her kids for you, but didn't watch her kids. She's like, I know, I'll make sure next time I don't bring the kids and that she's actually watching them. I get to the checkout and she's like, so when do we want to reschedule? And I was like, actually, I hate to tell you this. I'm actually moving back to Indiana at the end of the month. You know, I'm dead serious. I am like, I ain't no well in hell. I am gonna chance this again. What is she gonna bring next? Like a dinosaur?
Right.
And I'll just never forget Haley's face. If you guys don't know Haley, you can follow her on TikTok too. We were the exact opposite people. So I'm very full of expressions and like, what the hell? Well, Haley, when she's trying to like maintain her face, it's even worse because she's like, I like your bird. Oh Lord. But the best part was a client behind me has a fear of birds. And she's like in the middle of getting her foils on with one of my other stylists. And she's like, oh my God, there's a bird. She's like, what is the bird doing in here? Oh my God. And I just want you to think, I want you to imagine for a minute, like any business that you're already in, a salon owner especially, but like anywhere you work that doesn't involve birds. Like what would you do if someone walked in with 5 kids, 2 dogs, a bird on their shoulder? Like what is the protocol? Because I can't think of a law or a state board regulation that says you can't have birds. Anyway, this chick ran her bill up to like $638 or something. I mean, she added on stuff I wasn't even offering. I think she ended up doing like 3 different conditioning treatments with Olaplex. I don't even remember. And I remember telling her, I'm like, you know, you're adding a whole lot of stuff on here. We don't need to do all this unless you really want to. But no, apparently she wanted to put me through personal hell that day. So, and she tipped well, but there ain't no money worth doing that again. I was like, I'm good. It's been really nice to have you, and please don't come back.